Now, marginal costing. Do you have any doubts so far? Shall I proceed? Mark those two problems what we have included in our workings as very important. So, each problem when it got selected, you have just thought as whether it gives a overall representation to the topic. Now we will take up that way. For marginal costing, I am not just happy with just finding out BEP, MOS. This is what anybody will be prepared with, but under examination conditions they may ask something about reconciliation statement between absorption costing and marginal costing. So think in a very different way as how the paper setter will surprise the students community. If you were to be the paper setter, you will ask very tough questions, no? அதெல்லாம் தெரியாதா? So மொத்தம் வாழணும்னு நினைப்போம், அப்படின்னா மனுஷனே இல்ல. So please understand that normally a paper setter wanted to show off his skills. See, you need to think as how the other person is visualizing. So therefore, telling that sir, I will make it very easy. Paper kudukaname, apdiye pass panna sollame. Not that. You need to just think for a moment that the person who is moderating the paper, oh, nalla paper, appdi sollanum nanu nenikkom. So simple problem endha mundil adikka maata. Idu BCom evodu kudukka maatante. So definitely people will be wanting to show off their knowledge. So therefore, at whose cost? At our cost? No, we should be prepared for that. That is the reason as why I am telling you, go prepared for the worst. In marginal costing also, so one thing is that whatever that you talk, I am hearing, there is a problem. So either I should be insensitive or I should have some problem here. Please. We will talk very seriously on the subject. Marginal costing. Though problem is on about absorption costing and marginal costing, but we will just cover up the main issues. We call the difference between selling price and marginal cost as, what is the name? Onion padatha solla mudiyudhu. The difference between selling price and marginal cost is contribution. Why it is called as contribution? It is contributing to fixed cost. That's all. Don't say it is contributing towards beyond the fixed cost and all that. Beyond the fixed cost, contribution has got a different name. You call that as profit. So therefore, profit is the remains of contribution over fixed cost. Therefore, profit and contribution will bear the same characteristic feature, and therefore, even though in the formula it is contribution by sales, we will call that as profit volume ratio. So if you have, say, I had a doubt when I started learning of my own this marginal costing topic. You call gross profit ratio gross profit by sales. Understandable? We are very happy. Gross profit is there. You call that as gross profit ratio. Net profit ratio. Net profit is there. Feel happy. When you have fixed assets turnover ratio, fixed asset there, turnover there, we are very happy. So we will call profit volume ratio PV ratio, but formula is contribution by sales. I was just not satisfied. See, we used to call this, onion bhaji na onion irukano. Adha Mysore bandala Mysore ku solla mudiyadhu. Yeah. See, andha mari solla mudiyadhu. So at least So when we say as PV ratio, that is profit. Why the name is just like that? So I was told by my senior this way. One thing, you can also put such difficult questions to opponent and make him spellbound. Why are you know? What is that we have to do? You just make the other person spellbound. Let him not speak by asking that question. So wherever I just went, wherever seniors have just met by then, they started running because they know that this is the question I am going to ask. On seeing me, they were running. So I was also running and asked, what is the problem? You are asking the same question, we are not in a position to answer for this. Only then we had a book by then, authored by one Mr. B.K. Barr, B-H-A-R, a Calcutta author. So this gentleman gave a nice explanation. He said, originally this was not the formula. He went on to, or he traced the history of this. So he said, change in profit divided by change in sales. P starts here and V starts here, volume. So PV ratio original formula is change in profit divided by change in sales. Later on they said as contribution sales. Now please understand, contribution and profit are bearing the same characteristic feature. Therefore, if you call that as profit, what is referred as contribution? Nothing wrong in it. So until the fixed cost is getting recovered, you call that as contribution. Thereafter, any amount after recovery, the contribution will be referred to as profit. Therefore, profit and contribution are bearing the same characteristic feature. So therefore, usage of the term PV ratio is very much appropriate, and the one which we consider as a quite popular amongst the two is the second one here, contribution divided by sales. Now, we will talk something about break-even point. What do you mean by break-even point? Come on. No profit, no loss. Good. Then, how do you express break-even point? No, I am not asking formula. How would you express? No, break-even point in units, break-even point in rupees, break-even point in percentage. There are three ways of expression that we have. How will you express? So, how will you express? Express in three different units of measurement. What are those? Break-even point in units, break-even point in rupees, break-even point in percentage. Over formula. What is that? Each one has got a formula. Break-even point in rupees. What is the formula for break-even point in rupees? Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. So, people are asking, what connection these two are having? Fixed cost divided by PV ratio. What is the connection between the two? Why this formula has come like this? Any idea about that? Nobody will ask a question, please find out the background of this particular formula. Nobody will ask this question. But yet it is possible to explain that. We just do that and time permits. The other one is break-even point in terms of units. What is the formula for that? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. So, at a student's stage, we will not be just really worried. When formula is there, when it is working, when it is giving results. Why should I be knowing about what connection these two are having? The numerator and denominator, we will just forget. So, we will just learn it later. When time permits, towards the end, we will just learn about that. Break-even point in terms of percentage. In percentage. What is the formula for that? There are three different formula you have for break-even point in percentage. One is break-even sales in units divided by total sales in units into 100. Here break-even sales in rupees divided by total sales in rupees. That is, if you want to express that in terms of percentage. So in fact, I would just say there are only two ways of expression that we have. So by mistake, I have just taken up the third form of presentation. So what is that? Break-even point, break-even sales in units divided by total sales in units into 100 should give you that. Say here you have got to be very careful. Though the formula might just sound a little simple, let it be simple, but you have got to be very careful. This is total sales and not actual sales. There is a lot of difference between total sales and actual sales. So please always understand that when break-even sales expressed in percentage as say 40%, don't get the impression that margin of safety is 60%. Please closely hear me. What I am telling is a very simple, very serious matter, but it is a very simple matter also. When break-even point in percentage were to be 40%, don't get the impression that 60% is margin of safety. So you can't tell for sure that your actual sales and total sales would be same. What is the difference between actual sales and total sales? Actual sales is actual sales that you would have achieved. Total sales is the maximum sales possible. It is all that in your two-wheeler you will be finding that speedometer. What is the maximum level at which the needle can move? What is the maximum? Rather, what is the maximum speed there is speedometer the needle can touch in a two-wheeler? Yeah, which two-wheeler you know, you tell me that. One thing you tell. Huh? 120. So now 120 is the maximum. Whether actual will be 120. All of you? Raghav, have you gone 120? Wait, what is this two-wheeler? Keta car chal rahi hai. In two-wheeler? Huh? I don't want to die. God has sent only for that, no? Though we are devotees of Lord Anjaneya, one day we have to pass, no? See, I am asking whether you have actually tried 120 kilometers in a bike. I have tried. I told you before. You put the stand and squeeze. Closely follow. Why I am telling is that it is theoretical capacity only you can achieve. So your break-even point should be compared with break-even number to the theoretical sales. I mean the total sales. When I am just coming, I intended to tell only this. Actually, it is not possible to achieve the theoretical sales. Therefore, when you are finding out break-even sales at 40%, don't jump into conclusion that 60% is margin of safety. You won't have achieved that. You can achieve. You can tell like that. So please be careful. Under examination conditions, when nothing is given, whether actual sales and total sales are same. In a case where our friend was just telling 120 kilometers not possible. Yes, it is not possible. It is not at all possible in Indian routes. But what is the problem in assuming in the examination conditions that when the problem lacks clarity, you can bring out an assumption that total sales equal to actual sales and work out. They are not asking a question whether you can write 120 kilometers in Usman Road, Mount Road or any road for that matter. It is not possible. So in a place where they are not giving you total sales and actual sales, you bring out an assumption and proceed further. So one and only when total sales and actual sales are same, you can say if break-even point is 40%, you can tell margin of safety as the balance 60%. If they say that margin of safety is working out to 75%, you can tell that break-even sale is 25%, doing out an assumption that total sales and actual sales are same. So you have to bring out an assumption. Otherwise, you can't come to such conclusion that break-even sales and actual sales, if you total up, it should be 100. It is not like that. So you have to be very careful. Margin of safety. So therefore, when you are working out problems, you can bring out an assumption that actual sales and total sales are same. Can you understand what is the difference between total sales and actual sales? Total sales, maximum sales, that you can tell as theoretical sales. Actual sales, normally you cannot reach that theoretical sales. So your sale will be well below that theoretical sales. But under examination condition, you can assume and solve problems. Margin of safety. What is margin of safety? Come on. What is margin of safety? It is a sale over and above break-even sales. So, is it appropriate to take up one of these two is correct? Total sales minus break-even sales is margin of safety sales. The other one is actual sales minus break-even sales as margin of safety sales. Which one of the two is correct? One is correct, the other one is wrong. Come on. So this is wrong. This is correct. Actual sales minus break-even sales. Okay. So here also margin of safety can be expressed in three different forms. One is margin of safety in rupees. The other one in units. Last one in percentage. Last one in percentage. If you want to express that in terms of rupees, what is the formula? Profit divided by PV ratio. If you want to express that in terms of units, so what is the formula? Profit divided by contribution per unit. If you want to express in terms of percentage, here you have three different ways. What is that? Margin of safety in units divided by actual sales in units. You have to be very careful, not total sales, actual sales. The next one is margin of safety in rupees divided by actual sales in rupees. Next one is profit divided by contribution. There are three formula that you have for margin of safety in percentage. So I will demonstrate. It will not take much time. 10 minutes time only it will take. Shall I proceed? I am just taking a sample data. Selling price 100, variable cost 40, contribution per unit 60, then fixed cost 60,000, capacity actual operating at 75%. Find out, you can just make note, find out A, PV ratio, B, break even point, C, margin of safety, say there is one more item that I have to take note. Units. Okay, come on. Answer to these questions. Answer to these questions. First one. 60. 60 divided by 100 60%, break-even point is 60,000 divided by 60%. How much? A lakh. Or in terms of units also you can work out, no? What is that? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, that being 1000. Units that they are operating is 15,000. What is margin of safety? Margin of safety for which you have to develop a formula. What is the formula? Actual sales minus break-even sales. What is your actual sales? One moment, there is a small snack that we have. 1,500. So units, I will make it as 1,500. Kindly make that correction. Units, I am altering it from 15,000 to 1,500. So 1,500 minus 1,000. How much? 500. In this case, margin of safety, sales in rupees. How do we find out? When it is units being 1,500, what is the contribution you would have made? Contribution would be 1,500 into 60. How much is that? 90,000. Fixed cost is 60,000. Then profit is 30,000. Correct? Now margin of safety for which? Profit divided by PVR, 50,000 rupees. Is that clear? Now I would like to express in terms of percentage. Why don't you express break-even point in percentage? Please express break-even point in percentage. Also express margin of safety in percentage. Come on. See, break-even point, when you have to express in terms of percentage, it is break-even point in units divided by what is the denominator factor that you are going to use? What you are going to use is total sales. What is your total sales? How do you know that is the total sales? Which is nothing but 2,000 units. That means you are working out at 50% capacity. So tell us how I got this matter of 50%. All of you closely follow. When I am operating 1,500 units, what is the capacity that I have actually worked? 75%. If 1,500 units of working is 75%, what is 100% capacity? 2,000. So 100% capacity is 2,000 units. How do you arrive at 2,000 units? 1,500 divided by 75%. I will show you the computation here. 1,500 divided by 75%. That is the way we are getting. So how this 50% is worked out? 1,000 divided by 2,000. That is the way we are working out. Whereas margin of safety is not worked out like that. How margin of safety is worked out? Closely follow. It is margin of safety in units divided by what is the number? 1,500. Are you understanding, all of you? So how much it comes to? It comes to 33.33%. Is that clear? But the general understanding people carry. What general understanding people carry? If break-even sale is 50%, margin of safety is 50 is what they will assume, which is not correct. That is a point I wanted to prove. Now, when we are bringing out this capacity of working at 100%, then when you are operating at 2000 units, then break-even sale will be 50%. Margin of safety will also be 50%. That being the reason as why I went on to tell that for break-even sales, when you are expressing that in terms of percentage, it is break-even sales in units divided by total sales. That is a theoretical sales. Whereas when it comes for margin of safety, this percentage should be applied keeping actual sales as the base. What is that? Actual sales as the base. Are you understanding? So that is a point I wanted to prove. Now shall we make this 75% into 100%? Now this we will make it out as 2000, the other one as 100%. What is happening? Now you find both of them are 50-50. Are you understanding? So when you are reading break-even sales as say 40%, you can tell that 60% is margin of safety only on the assumption that actual sales and total sales are same. Only when actual sales and total sales are same. Or else, you have seen in the first case, what had happened? Break-even sales 50%, whereas margin of safety was only 33.33%. Is that clear? So the rest we will take it up in the next class. Tomorrow we will meet by 10 o'clock. 9:30 is too early for me. We have other class where my class is getting started by 6:15 in the morning. It goes up to 8:45. I have only 45 minutes to have my breakfast. So I am just coming only by 10 o'clock. We will just meet by 10 o'clock. The class will close by 5 o'clock. I was just only asking the question, why did you fix by 9:30? So I have morning class also. So by 5:30 another class is getting started. So Sunday, say I want to start a little later, to say instead of 9:30, 11:30 I wanted to start. I am telling you 11:30 because I have weekly once a class, that is every Sunday we have. So that class is not yet over. So we would like to have it by 11:30 and we go up to 6:30 in the evening. Is it fine with you? So instead of having the class by 9:30 or 10:30, Sunday class alone 11:30 we will start. Because every week only we just meet. So if I miss, the next week also I have institute class. So therefore I don't want to miss the Sunday class. Sunday alone 11:30. Tomorrow we are meeting by Arvidas. Okay? This is urgent. பேசுவோம்ல அப்படியே எழுந்துட்டா என்ன அர்த்தம்? நம்ம தொகுதி பங்கீடா பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க. நல்லா பார்த்து ஒரு சிரிச்சு அனுப்ப வேண்டாமோ? அப்படியே கிளம்பி போறீங்க. So tomorrow we will just meet by 10 o'clock. 10 to 5 only. So I don't want to strain. I don't want yourself to be strained. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Study well and repeat whatever we have just done. In the next class, we will have mix of costing and FM. Last class, mix of costing and FM. Okay? Thank you. Good night. Have a nice sleep. Thank you.